Hanukkah Hamizbeach Rock of Ages, let our prayer praise thy saving power. Thou amidst the raging foes wast our sheltering tower. Furious they assailed us, but thine arm availed us, and thy word broke their sword when our own strength failed us, and thy word broke their sword when our own strength failed us.
Welcome, everyone. Welcome to our online Vespers service. It's wonderful to be with all of you this evening. Whether it's your first Vespers or your 51st, I'll let you know what's going to happen tonight. You are all muted, so no one can hear you, but you should be able to see me and hear me. If you're having any tech problems, you can type to all of us in the Zoom chat. You can tune in just to listen, even turn off your camera, or you can type freely in the chat. We'll listen to some music, engage in spiritual practice, and reflect and meditate together. And if today's technology just doesn't work, or we leaders make mistakes, or you can't figure out something that's going wrong, that's all okay. We will take it as part of the practice of being together in this virtual gathering in patience and an imperfect but beloved community. We will do our best, offer what we can, and do better next time. So let's begin. Vespers is one of the traditional monastic prayers of the hours, daily prayers that start with matins around 2 a.m. and end with compline just before bedtime. Vespers is the evening prayer at sunset, a time for reflecting with gratitude on the day and unwinding into a more contemplative mindset. We are gathering for Vespers on Thursday nights to take time for a few different forms of contemplative practice offered by our rotating leadership team. For now, let's listen to a bit of music while we come together, settle in, and center ourselves for this Vespers service inspired by gift giving in Hanukkah. You'll need a sheet of paper, preferably squared shaped if you've got it, scissors if you don't have a squared shaped piece of paper, and tape or glue for our spiritual practice today. So during the song, it might be a good opportunity to go gather those items.
Could anyone ever tell you you were anything less than beautiful? How could anyone ever tell you you were less than whole? How could anyone fail to notice that your loving is a miracle? How deeply you're connected to my soul. How could anyone ever tell you you were anything less than beautiful? How could anyone ever tell you you were less than whole? How could anyone fail to notice that your loving is a miracle? How deeply you're connected to my soul. How could anyone ever tell you you were anything less than beautiful? How could anyone ever tell you you were less than whole? How could anyone fail to notice that your loving is a miracle? How deeply you're connected to my soul. How could anyone ever tell you you were anything less than beautiful? How could anyone ever tell you you were less than whole? How could anyone fail to notice that your loving is a miracle? How deeply you're connected to my soul. How could anyone ever tell you you were anything less than beautiful? How could anyone ever tell you you were less than whole? How could anyone fail to notice that your loving is a miracle? How deeply you're connected to my soul. How could anyone ever tell you you were anything less than beautiful? How could anyone ever tell you you were less than whole? How could anyone fail to notice that your loving is a miracle? How deeply you're connected to my soul. How could anyone ever tell you you were anything less than beautiful? How could anyone ever tell you you were less than whole? How could anyone fail to notice that your loving is a miracle? How deeply you're connected.
As we light our chalice, symbol of our Unitarian Universalist faith, in our hearts, because during the centering song, I realized that my daughter had taken the chalice light because she likes playing with it. I have nothing in there. So as we light our chalice, symbolically in our hearts, we read the poem, Two Things About the Light of Hanukkah, from Euro-American UU minister, Reverend Dr. Kendall Gibbons, inspired by the light of the menorah, the Hanukkah. First, put away the sewing. Set down the clock that is losing time and needs to be adjusted, the bank statements that need to be reconciled, the penmanship and spelling exercises to complete, the dried beans to sort by size. Look at the light. It is not to be spent in diligence, dutifully illuminating tasks, but seen from the eye of the mind to the memory, to the heart, to the soul, from beauty to gratitude to faith. Praise be the light and the source of light. Be inspired. Do not use the light. Do not lose the holiness of this moment in the press of ought to be done. It is forbidden to work by the light of these candles. Would you burn your lover's last letter for kindling? Watch the glow like jewels against the velvet of night sky. Waste this light in awe? Waste it in awe, as in the ancient temple, it is said they burned the oil, profligate for reverence and thanks. Blessed is the shaping of our lives by commandment and memory. Blessed is the light. Second, put the lamp in a window, in a doorway, on the balcony, in the front yard, on the village green, in town square. Release its beauty to the public view. Do not hoard the light. It is not yours to gloat over in private. Wherever, whenever it is safe, announce the miracle. Invite the neighborhood to remember with you. Perhaps next door, they only half recall the story from some dim childhood ritual. Perhaps your 4 flames, then 5, then 6 might wake their dedication anew. Or in the city of 1,000 names for God, or none at all, those faithful candles might remind the hurried and the fallen, the defeated of heart, that beauty is yet possible, that the intention of higher purpose endures, even to rouse the captive mind to curiosity. What's the story of those lights? It is an opening for the work of the Spirit. Testify. Let the tongues of flame bear witness to the world that miracles abound and joy abides. Blessed is the heritage of freedom. Blessed is the custom that illuminates our common darkness. Blessed is the sharing of the light. Let us now light smaller candles, ones I do have back there. Let us now light candles to represent the joys and sorrows present in the quiet among us today. Together, let's take A deep breath in and let it out. A deep breath in and let it out. Let us release any tensions in our body, our jaws, or shoulders, or limbs as we breathe in and out our prayers. As you continue to breathe deeply, bring into your hearts any sorrows and joys you're carrying with you this week as we hold space for our community and for the world. We light a candle for the joys, the bright lights in the contemplative and nourishing dark, creatured comforts in the cold, any moment that sparks joy in us. May we treasure them. Then a candle for the sorrows. May anything that burdens us be shared in community, so others may help us carry whatever troubles us. And a candle for the world. With much fear, suffering, violence, and tragedy in all parts of our interconnected world, may we work to infuse compassion and justice into every community we touch. Now let us take a quiet moment with the ringing of our singing bowl to reflect on the joys and sorrows in our own lives and in the world. Amen. Our reading this evening comes from Euro-American UU Methodist minister and theologian, Reverend Dr. Rebecca Ann Parker. This is her poem, Choose to Bless the World. Your gifts, whatever you discover them to be, can be used to bless or curse the world. The mind's power, the strength of the hands, the reaches of the heart, the gift of speaking, listening, imagining, seeing, waiting. Any of these can serve to feed the hungry, bind up wounds, welcome the stranger, praise what is sacred, do the work of justice, or offer love. Any of these can draw down the prison door, hoard bread, abandon the poor, obscure what is holy, comply with injustice, or withhold love. You must answer this question: what will you do with your gifts? Choose to bless the world. The choice to bless the world is more than an act of will, a moving forward into the world with the intention to do good. It is an act of recognition, a confession of surprise, a grateful acknowledgement that in the midst of a broken world, unspeakable beauty, grace, and mystery abide. There is an embrace of kindness that encompasses all life, even yours. And while there is injustice and anesthetization or evil, there moves a holy disturbance, a benevolent rage, a revolutionary love, protesting, urging, insisting that which is sacred will not be defiled. Those who bless the world live their life as a gesture of thanks for this beauty and this rage. The choice to bless the world can take you into solitude to search for the sources of power and grace, native wisdom, healing, and liberation. But more, the choice will draw you into community, the endeavor shared, the heritage passed on, the companionship of struggle, the importance of keeping faith, the life of ritual and praise, the comfort of human friendship, the company of earth, the chorus of life welcoming you. None of us alone can save the world. Together, that is another possibility, waiting. Here ends our reading. For tonight's contemplative practice, we will attempt an art meditation together, inspired by the celebration of Hanukkah. I am not Jewish, so I don't have a Hanukkah of my own or the words to light it, though I know many of you do and are actively honoring this special time in the Jewish liturgical calendar. I do have, as you may have noticed behind me, a crafted menorah that Sophia's daycare provider helped her and her little friends create out of their hands. I do love it. And I love seeing many menorahs lit in my neighbor's windows, like we heard in the chalice lighting from Reverend Dr. Gibbons. And in years past, I've been fortunate to be invited into games of dreidel and eating fresh latkes. There's a unique American tradition in the celebration of the theologically minor holiday of Hanukkah I'd like to lift up tonight. I'm thinking about gift giving in Hanukkah and Reverend Dr. Parker's challenge for us to choose to bless the world with our gifts. I have no interest in promoting consumerism in the holiday season. We get enough of that message anyway. And consumption isn't really the point of gift giving and gift receiving. It is one of many love languages, a way we show others that we have thought about them and care about them. And during hard times, it's wonderful to get a joy infusion from family and friends. Jewish American scholar and author Rabbi Menachem Creditor spoke with Time magazine about the addition of gift giving to American celebrations of Hanukkah, which was in response to increased gift giving at Christmas in the 20th century. Rabbi Creditor said, parents saw that giving gifts was a way of creating joy around the time of Hanukkah. I think it wasn't to be like Christmas. It was so Jewish children would have joy on Hanukkah. I know it sounds like a narrow difference, but the distinguishing factor is we didn't want to do Christmas. We wanted to have joy. And the joy I encourage us to consider tonight is the joy of ourselves, the wonderful gift that is each of us, and the unique gifts each of us contains. There is great joy in remembering our own worth and dignity and what we have to offer ourselves, our communities, and the world. So we're doing an art meditation together today. We'll be making an origami box together. Origami is the centuries-old Japanese method of folding paper, the literal translation of origami, creating objects and animals out of a simple sheet of paper. You'll need that piece of paper I mentioned before, and perhaps scissors to make your paper into a square instead of a rectangle. We'll watch a video together on a slower speed, thanks to our tech host, Phil, who noticed maybe it went too fast. We'll watch a video together that shows how to make a box out of paper, a gift box that in our metaphor today is you, with a gift for the world inside. And perhaps you don't feel that art, or specifically folding paper, is your gift. Perhaps the box won't come together quite right. But as we always say at Vespers, mistakes and mishaps are part of the journey, and you are certainly welcome to finish your box later or not at all, just find a different box that can represent you. But let's give this a try. Do you have your square paper? Do you have your tape or glue to hold the box together at the end? Let's get started. Now that we all have a gift box or an attempt at a first gift box, I feel like my gift box is a little beraggled, which may actually be a very good metaphor for myself during these COVID times. Let us consider what we might each put inside of our little box. Let's take a deep breath in and out. What special gifts hide inside each of us? Listen to these words from your Australian yoga teacher, Claire Charters, as you keep breathing deeply and considering your gift box. Becoming present with this moment, becoming present with yourself. Say to yourself, I am enough. I've always been enough. As you breathe in, draw in self-love. As you exhale, release all that is no longer serving you. Breathing in, tell yourself, I am here, whole and complete. Breathing out, replace negative beliefs with new possibility. Breathing in, remind yourself, I am enough. I have always been enough. Breathing out, replace old fears with new decisions, new thinking, new ways of being. You are at complete peace. You are connected to your own personal power, bathed in new possibility and resting in your own wisdom, resilience, and self-awareness. As we listen to our musical meditation from the Springfield, Missouri Multicultural Ensemble, I encourage you to write down or draw or find a symbolic object that represents your wisdom, resilience, self-awareness, and personal power, your personal gifts. Place them inside your box as a gift to yourself.
Let it shine, let it shine.
Thank you all for participating tonight. Let us consider that these times are demanding that we slow down, rest, take care of ourselves, that we be mindful of our interconnectedness. You are invited to take Thursday nights to quiet your mind and spirit. If you can, let this meeting be the last screen time of your day. If the sun isn't set where you are, go outside and watch it. Lay down everything you carry with you during the day and give yourself the space to move gradually into the comfort of sleep. As we end our gathering, I invite you to take your hands off your keyboard, maybe put your hands on your heart, and imagine your fellow first parishioners, physically distanced, but spiritually close. Our closing words are adapted from modern UU religious educator Gwen Matthews. As December opens up before us, we welcome in the gift of reflection. We turn toward our holiday celebrations and search for common threads of meaning. We begin with Hanukkah, the festival of lights, commemorating a time of miracles when the faith of the Jewish people sustained them to reclaim their holy temple and keep the light of the menorah burning for 8 days. Then Yule, the winter solstice, when we are invited to explore dualities, cycles, and seasons and witness the Holly King being overcome by the Oak King. Yule reminds us that we all partake in the miracle of renewal. Then Christmas, the celebration of Jesus' humble birth in a manger, offers us to revisit the miracle of birth and the desire to find saviors to heal the scars of humanity. Here in our congregation, you are just as much a holy miracle as persistence and dedication to a faith as the turning of the earth, as the creation of each new life. We see the love you give to others, the space you create to hold others' joys and sorrows, and the generosity and spirit you entrust to this community. You are a holiday miracle. This community is one of miracle makers. Blessed be, and amen. Please type your good nights and goodbyes in the chat box and stay for our closing song if you like. We'll wave and log off in silence when it's finished. Have a peaceful, peaceful night.
I'm with my daughters. We're making latkes with big brown potatoes. They're gonna taste fine. They're laughing and singing near our Hanukkah. They're looking so happy. It's Hanukkah time. And I remember every December we tell the tale we know so well. And all the family gathers happily. I wish Hanukkah was mine all year. Spinning the dreidels around golden chocolate, opening presents we give and receive. This celebration of miracles tells me no matter how hopeless it seems, we must always believe in each other. And I remember every December we tell the tale we know so well. All my family gathers happily. I wish Hanukkah was mine all year.
Have a great, shining festival of lights.